As if you needed another reason to have sex, research shows it can actually help you live longer.
When you have sex, what happens is you get a release of oxytocin, and oxytocin will help decrease the narrowing of your vessels, which will lower the blood pressure. It also will decrease your oxytocin is a stress reliever and will decrease anxiety, which will also lower your blood pressure.
You mentioned not having so much empirical evidence because the money isn't really behind it, but when we read a stat like research shows that men who have sex at least twice a week can cut their risk of heart disease in half, you know, how do we not want to fund research like this? Heart disease is #1 killer.
I guess we have to ask the FDA that and ask the NIH that, why they don't want to start funding more studies like that. I mean, there's a lot of studies out there that hint at things, but we don't have good data. And so, you know, it's really, we know that it'll lower our blood pressure. We know when we have sex, it'll increase our heart rate. We know that it's exercise. I mean, you'll burn maybe, I think it's something like 5 calories per minute of exercise. So depending on how long you can go, you can burn quite a few calories. So we know it's good for us indirectly. Why it helps specifically with the heart disease, that remains to be seen. And as Sue said, we are getting more funding, and there are better studies coming out, and hopefully they'll start concentrating on it, and not only in men, but also in women.
Sure.
What happens with sex is when you get that release of oxytocin, it causes an increase in endorphins. And endorphins are like the opiates. They're our pain relievers. So there really is evidence that sex will relieve temporarily. It's not going to take it away completely, but may relieve your back pain. It may relieve your headache. Conversely, there are some women, which I think is very interesting, that will have headaches, severe headaches with orgasm, probably about 1% of the population.
What causes that?
You know, I don't know, but I do know that beta blockers, a certain medication, will relieve it. So it probably has something to do with blocking beta receptors. You know, after you have sex, you get a release of prolactin. And prolactin, even for women who have low desire, if they produce too much prolactin, that can be one of the reasons. And so what prolactin does is it relaxes us, it makes us content, and you fall asleep. Now, that's been studied more in men than women, so we really don't know if it's quite the same in women.